Thanks for coming back in. Yep, welcome back to MBPFishing. Yes, this is our channel, folks. This is our channel, and I'm dang well proud of it. It is our channel. Yes, it is. Welcome back to MBPFishing. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. We're going to be doing some fishing today. We're also we're going to be doing a little longer feed than regularly, folks. I've got a little spot set up there. We're going to be cooking some hot dogs a little later on this evening. Right now, we're just going to be doing some fishing. Hopefully I can get some cut bait, put it on my big rod. We can set out here and we can cook some hot dogs a little later on. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Thanks for coming back in, my friends. Let me get these rods out and I will check that chat. Temperature's about 60, 55, 60 degrees. A little bit of a wind down here, but it's not too bad. And there is a chance for some scattered showers today, so that's in the mix as well. We do have a raincoat, and we've got other stuff we can work with if she really starts pouring down rain. Let's put a big night crawler on here, and we'll get this big rod out. And look at that stupid. I have to remember to clean my hooks off when I go home. I always leave a little couple pieces of worm on there, and that can just tear your worms to pieces when you try to put the new ones on the first time. Until that stuff wets down, it's like ripping through them. That stuff I just don't want to come off. Hope you guys enjoy the show today, my friends. We're just getting started out here. Around my usual time, maybe a smidgen later than normal, but it took me about 15-20 minutes to get the little pit spot set up there. And now that little pit spot's just like a bed of rocks with a little circle rock around it and some charcoal in there. We're self-lighting stuff, so I don't have to worry about the lighter fluid and all that stuff. All right, that's a pretty good. There's some big ones coming up to the surface out here right now. Current's not too bad, folks. We got a barge downriver, kind of slowing up the water flow. Just got down here, haven't really done much. Just getting her all set up. And it looks like that current is moving to the left. Well, it's moving to the left and to the right because that line's moving that way. So interesting. Yeah, we're up about another maybe 8 to 10 inches from our last feed down here, folks. The water is steadily rising down here. Hope you guys enjoy the show today, my friends. More point, I hope I can catch some fish for you guys. I'm hoping to get a drum or something to cut up for bait so I can put it on my big rod here eventually. Let's see, this stuff, the current is kind of all wonky. I don't want to cast over that snaggy spot, but I want to get close to it. I'm not sure if that one's going to hold right, folks. It didn't seem like she held in the spot I wanted her to. Oh, look at that. There's some big fish right up at the surface down here. I don't know what they are. That's kind of where I wanted her to drift further down to the right. Because, with the rising water, these fish are going to be coming right into the shallows. Yeah, weird temperatures we're having, folks. It was down in the 40s again last night. It's barely going to get to 60 degrees today, if that. Let me get a drink of something before we start her up. Got some hot dog buns, hot dogs, got the cooking stick here. All right, let's get the tablet out here and see what's going on today. Hope you guys enjoy the show, my friends. Back off of that. And let's see. Where is YouTube? There it is. I'm on the wrong account, obviously. We're on our main account, our backup. And we're trying to do dual live feeds with my backup account. It's still processing, so yeah, you know, when you get your first 50 subs, it takes a little while to start. Oh yeah, the bank is better because all that sandy spot has been it's been covered. So Danny, how you doing today, Danny? Thanks for coming in, my friend. That was a bite on a big rod. Yeah, something was nipping on it. Made the line go slack. Let's see, Davis, what's going on? How you doing, Davis? Miss Amaris Davis says, good afternoon, MBP Fishing. Good afternoon to you too, my friend. Let's see, Danny says, hello, Miss Amaris. Miss Amaris says, what's going on, Danny? See, and Terry, what's going on? How you doing, Terry? Terry says, Mississippi man. Hey, ain't no better place to fish down in St. Louis in the big old mighty muddy Mississippi River, my friend. Let's see, Terry says, hey, damn. Let's see, Danny says, hit that like button. Let's see, Danny says, doing great, Mike. Awesome, my friend. Let's see, 8 people in and 8 thumbs up. Pretty good numbers to me, my friends. We're just getting started, so. Yeah, we're going to be doing a little cooking a little later on. We have some hot dogs. I've already got a little pit spot set up right in front of you guys. I'll be doing that a little later on. Hopefully I can get some cut bait for my big rod, and well, we'll see after that. Put a big old piece of cut bait on my big rod out here and see if we can get a big monster fish. Let's see, Danny says, doing great, Mike. Let's see, Amara says, oh yeah. Let's see, Terry says, love it. I know it's not much, but it's a little, you know, a little evening cookout for you guys. Plus, it gives me a chance to, you know, cook something down here. Let's see, Terry says, I like that little lake you fish in. It's okay. A lot of bluegill, crappie, bass, but I believe they were having a concert today on the premises, so I'm not sure if that would be the best location to go fishing in. I do like it too. I mean, especially during the winter times, the early fall. That was not smart, Michael. I lost all my worms there. Got a good population of fish. Just hard pressed for me to give up the river down here when we got such big old fishies down here. It's so quiet and peaceful too. You know what I mean? I mean, check it out, folks. There's no one that way. There's one barge in that direction, and that's it. Besides that, I got the whole river to myself. Yeah, there are some big old fishies moving up and down here. I don't know what they are yet. Coming up to the surface pretty good. So it needs a few more worms. No worries. I dug 130 worms. Hopefully I can get either some cut bait, or we'll save a few big old night crawlers for this evening and put a big 2-ounce weight and cast her out there in the current as deep as I can get her. I just thought that'd be a good little way to do that a little later on. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I do this a lot by myself. I thought I'd share it with you guys. Just come down here with a bag of charcoal and a pack of hot dogs. Can't be more simpler than that, folks. I mean, you don't need a fancy barbecue pit and all that stuff to do a little cooking out fishing. Especially when you're down here on the river, just set up a nice little rock face. That's what I got over here. You see the little charcoal rock face. We got some hot dogs, hot dog buns. We got a little something to drink. Yeah, this water is rising fast, folks. Yeah, the only really good soda they have at Safeway is Squirt. They don't even have Mountain Dew. Kind of sucks. No Mountain Dew, no Coca-Cola, just Dr. Pepper and Squirt. It is beautiful down here, folks. I mean, down on these rocks, kind of soaking up a little bit of the sun's rays. Even through the clouds, you're going to get, look at that, right in front of us, folks. There are some big ones out here. I don't know what those are. And they seem to be holding in a line, right about there, right where the back current and the current meet. Got my big rod around that location. Small rod's out a little deeper. Interesting. Now, a lot of times you're down here, you don't know what the fish are doing. You gotta figure it out when you get down here. Now, we didn't have any rain last night. We had a little sprinkle this morning, not much, but she kind of stabilized this morning. We're just getting started, folks. Let's see him, Bambi. What's going on? How you doing, my friend? Bambi says, "Good morning, all you lovely people." Let's fish, Terry. Danny, you miss him? Amanda and Pap Mike. I don't know what's wrong with my voice this morning. Let's see, Mahad says hi. Mahad, what's the fishy emojis? Let's see, Danny says hi, Mahad. Let's see, and Dorothy, what's going on? How you doing, Dorothy? Dorothy says hi, MBP. Let's see, Mahad says, I don't want to look emojis. Let's see, Danny says hi, Dorothy. Dorothy says hi, Danny. Mahad says, hi, my friends. How are you? We're doing okay. We just got started. We're just getting started, my friend. See, Ahmad, what's going on? How you doing, Ahmad? Ahmad says hi. Let's see, Dorothy says, thank you, Danny. Mahad says hi. Let's see, Danny says hi, Flaz. Let's see, and Bambi says hi, Dorothy. See, Mahad says hi. Let's see, Danny says, 3 more wrenches to give out today. Let's see, Mahad says hi. Mahad says hi. With more fishy emojis. As Bambi says, Mischief Flaz, cool name. See, Mahad says, hi, my friends. How are you? Doing okay. Hope you're doing okay too, my friend. Let's see, in Pierre Coops, what's going on? How much fishes today? We just got started. We've been in about 8 minutes. So nothing as of yet, but there's some big ones hitting the surface. I just got to figure out how to catch them. Let's see, Pierre Coop says hi. Let's see, Danny says, I got you, Danny. Let's see, Bambi says, just got here. See, Danny says, hi, Pierre. See, 36 people in and 17 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see. How you doing, Gary? Gary says, tight lines, Mike. Dorothy says, hi, Pierre. Let's see. Dorothy says, hi, Gary. Pierre says, hi, Danny. Let's see. Bambi says, Torian laughing her butt off. And with the hi emojis and the prayer emojis. See, Gary says, hey, Dorothy. Maud says, I am so a good bro, but you know how much I haven't caught anything as of yet. We're just getting started, though. Let's see, Pierce says, hi, Dorothy. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Gary. Let's see, Pierce says, Gary. All right, folks. Looking good for chat. Let me set her up and just step back. I don't know what these fish are going to be doing today. I really don't. With the water raising like this, they could be eating up so much right now. It's hard to tell what's going to get them to hit. Muck on the line, muck, 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 muck. We'll figure it out, folks. We will. One good thing, the current's not ripping too badly. We got a barge upriver, so that's kind of slowing her down. Yeah, it looks pretty good there. No, I'm surprised I didn't get hit by a drum or something. That's a big old night crawler out there. It looks like something did hit it. Majority of that worm is ripped off. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't see that bite. Oh, let's get another night crawler on there. Let's get another big old night crawler on and see if we can get with these guys. I might have to change my leader length because if I remember correctly, and when the water gets higher, you want to kind of lessen your leader because they are holding closer to the bottom. I mean, it makes sense. They don't want to get bounced around and get hit by floating debris, so they hold a little bit closer to the bottom a lot of times, unless they're traveling, in which case they're usually way out in the deep water anyways. Let's cast that out a little further out and see if that gets anything. My idea is that they're in shallow, but that you guys know, not my ideas don't always pan out. Sometimes I'm completely wrong because the fish do what they want to do, and a lot of times what they want to do is basically eat and stay safe, which means that they're going to follow their food sources and they're going to, kind of keep away from predators. I know. Having to think like a fish, it hurts. Give me a headache. Another big one just hit the surface right out here. I wonder what them big guys are. I haven't seen them yet. They've just been coming up and waking at the surface. Interesting. I mean, those are some big fish, folks. Those are in the 15, 20 pound range. I'm not sure what they are. Could be big grass carp. Yeah, there's one hit the surface way out there, though. 39 people in and 23 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see. BMCK 5002. How you doing, my friend? Says, hey, brother, good luck today. Thank you, my friend. We might need it. It's looking, yeah, I'm usually getting a lot of bites by now. I'm not sure what's going on. There's no trash, there's no debris, so I doubt if anyone's fished down here. Let's see. Denny says, I was laughing at Pat Mike, Tony. Not you. Hit BMK. No worries, Bambi. Let's see. Bambi says, that's a lot of worm. Yeah, we dig about a dozen night crawlers and about 100, 130 smaller redworms a day down here. Yeah, I have my own worm beds, but I still got to dig them. Let's see, Tony, what's going on? How you doing, Tony? Tony says, Tony is spelled with a whining LOL. I got you, my friend. That's pretty cool. Let's see, Bambi says, yes, sir. I'm sorry. I noticed after I was typed it. No worries. No harm intended. Let's see, Tony says, oh, good, Bambi. And we're looking nice out here, folks. It's beautiful. It's very nice out here today. We are getting some floating debris, obviously. With that, there's another nice one come to the surface over there. See what? I could get a third rod out here. Not sure what to put on her. Like a jig head crawler, I'm not sure about. I might put on a bigger weight for this other rod, assuming I can find my my boxes and everything here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're just getting started, folks. I'm trying to figure this out. And that's holding out there pretty good in deep water. Yep, she's holding nicely, and so is that one. There's a something's messing with it. I see him. I saw that fish. That line went a couple times, very, very lightly, but that was a bite. Let's see if I can find my good weight here. There it is. All right, that's a good weight. Probably put on a little bigger hook. Not the best idea, but what the heck. Oh, I will need a swivel as well, and or at least a thing stop here. That'll work. Not the grace. Oh well, it'll do. Yeah, it'll do. Where are my hooks? They're in my bag again too. Dang it! I'll leave my. I forget my head if it wasn't attached. Might have left them hooks at home. Might have left those new hooks at home. That's okay. I can dig through my box and find an older one. No worries about that. So I think I might have left my my new little pack of hooks I bought at home. I said I forget my head if it wasn't attached, folks. See if I can find a hook in here. Yeah, those aren't our main hooks. There were some new bait holders that I'd bought. That's a small itty bitty hook. No way I'm going to be using that. No way. That ain't gonna happen. All right, that will probably do. This, folks, there's all kinds of wakes out here right now. Now, that'll do, but let me see if I got a better one in my box. Yeah, we're just getting started, folks. Just getting the rods and reels out. I wasn't sure if I would even need a third rod out here. I haven't needed one in a while. But apparently today is going to be different, even though she's hitting good. Oh yeah, that's a good hook there. Yeah, that's perfect there. And that's the kind of hook I wanted. Heck, it's even got a freaking leader on it. It's awesome. Check that leader line, make sure she's not. That definitely needed retying. Never mind. I have to make a leader for that because that leader was toast. Yeah, that was no good. Glad I pulled on that. And the sun might be coming out here too. Yeah, it tried. Oh well. Where's my other rod? There it is. Let's see. Go back in there. This is a 3-ounce, 8-ounce weight. It's a little heavier than what we usually use, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with a little heavier right now. It's my leader. Go my hand. Dang it. That's interesting right now, folks. I'm very curious as to why I'm not getting any drum or anything down here right now. Might be some big fish in here spooking them. Oh, there's a bite on the. I see him. I don't want to lose my stuff. It's a pretty good bite on that one. He's pecking on it hard. Come on, you stinker, get through there. There we go. Yeah, I'm wearing a mic feed, folks, but you know the mic will pick up a little bit of wind. So we got a decent amount of wind blowing right now. Like 1 minute there'll be no. Oh, folks. In the middle of tying my leader on. Got him. And our first. Yeah, that might be. Oh, never mind. Dang it. Well, I was saying that might have been our cut bait for later on, but oh well, he got back in the water. And I had to drop my leader, and oh boy. Oh well. Dang it, man. Crap, where is it? Yeah, the wind blew my leader away. So I have to retie it. I have to break this off up here and make a leader out of this. Right in the middle of tying that hook on, I just. How do they know, folks? How do they know? Whenever you're trying to do something, they know to hit that rod. They know instinctively. Yeah, that was about the perfect size for cut bait too. Dang it. That on there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. And there we go. That's that part on. All I got to do is tie the hook on now. That feels pretty sharp. Let's see. That is on as well. All right. Got her rigged up, folks. Finally. All right, let's see. This one probably be best to cast like middle out there, while this one would be set right here. Okay. Yeah, I think I got the idea. Let's get some worms on here. Yeah, this is our medium. So this is, I believe this is a 8-pound test on this one. I don't think I changed my spool from fishing down at Fairgrounds. So yeah, I think this is 8-pound test on this one. 6 on our smaller rod and 20 on our big rod. Get off me, moth. Stupid moth. Takes a couple minutes to. a minute or so to get these worms on there properly. Ah! Get on there, you little tiny little hooks. Really good. I think that'll have to do for that one. Let's see now. Mid-range would be kind of straight out. All right, that's on the bottom. That looks pretty good, and we'll get our smaller rod back out here too. I need to refresh this big rod because I don't know what's up with it. It's not getting a bite today. I'm not sure why I missed that last fish. I had him good. Hopped off on me right by the bank. Maybe I was a little bit too energetic with landing him. I don't know. Eyes are all blurry today too. That's interesting. See, that one's tight. Good. I need to refresh this one. Something's been. I got a bite out there for just one nibble and didn't really take it. And refreshed. All right, I didn't get a bite out deeper, so let's just. That one's sitting in the middle, so let's get this one like right out there, not too far from the bank. All right, I think we're finally set, folks. For a minute, you can come check that chat. See what's going on? Let's see. Tony says, "Oh, good, Bambi." Let's see, Randy, what's going on? How you doing, Randy? Randy says, "Mike and Danny and friends." Let's see. Danny says, "Knowing my luck, you're probably not sir either." Let's see. Danny says, "Hi, Randy." Let's see. Pierce says, "Hey, friend, host. How you doing today, my friend?" Let's see. Tony says, "Play tight lines, everyone. Got a doctor's appointment." All right, my friend. Good luck, and hopefully it's just a checkup. Let's see, Monster, what's going on? How you doing, Monster? Dorothy says, "Hi, Monster." Let's see. Randy says, "Pier." Let's see, Red Bull Princess, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Another big one right there. You just hit. Let's see, Princess says, "Hope everyone is having a great and wonderful day." And just stopped in. Let's see, Bambi says, "Randy." Let's see, Princess says, "Hi." Let's see, Dorothy says, "Hey, Red Bull." Let's see, Randy says, "Bambi, good afternoon." Let's see, Bambi says, "MVP, of course, good morning." Let's see, Ewas, what's going on? As a pop. How you doing, Ewas? Ewas says, "Hey, MVP." Stupid barge. Knocking my baits right off. Let's see, Amara says, "Hey, Gary and Dorothy." Let's see, Junior, what's going on? How you doing today, Junior? Junior says, "Hi." Let's see. Danny says, hey, Miss Davis. Let's see. Danny says, wrenches you, Ewas. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it, my friend. Danny says, hi, Carol. Let's see. Dorothy says, hey, Ewas. There's 2 more wrenches to go. Let's see. Bambi says, hi, Ewas. Ewas says, thank you. I wonder what happened. We did a purge of the mods about 2 feeds ago. Yep, you got it right, Danny. That's Ewas says, that was my guess. Yeah, it had been about 9 months since we'd done one, so we had to do that. Ewas says, hey, Randy. Dorothy says, good afternoon, Randy. Let's see, Arnold, what's going on? How you doing, Arnold? Arnold says, I'm good, guys. Let's see, and Honeycutt. Honeycutt says hi. Let's see, Denny says, cut. I think a director's supposed to say that, Danny. Let's see, Bambi says, I know those tiny hooks catch tiny fish. Yeah, that's the idea, but they also catch bigger fish. And with the lighter rods, these 2 medium action ones, I can't really bend those hooks out on those big rods without breaking that line. So I'm pretty good with not breaking it. Let's see, Bambi says, Princess, I missed you. Never intended. I'm never rude, especially to people I never met. Listen and thank you. Let's see, Magoo, what's going on? How you doing, Magoo? Danny says, hi, Magoo. And see, Bad Boy Melvin is in the house. How you doing, Bad Boy? See, Melvin says, hi, all. How's you doing? See, Danny says, hi, Melvin. Let's see, Melvin says, hey, Danny. Let's see, Dorothy says, hi, Magoo says, MVP. See, Melvin says, and Dorothy. See, Bambi says, hi. Yeah, hi, him. See, Dorothy says, hi, Magoo. Magoo says, Dorothy. See, Bambi says, Melvin. Let's see, Randy says, I'm working. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I hope you get off soon. Let's see, Melvin says, that green rod's a new rod. Yeah, Dirty 30 sent that to me a couple months ago. I've just been able to get a rod for her. Let's see, and JR Buds, what's going on? How you doing, JR? JR says, hey, if anyone wants merch, let me know. Let's see, Dorothy says, hi, JR. See, 29 people in and 39 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. You guys enjoy the show today. Yeah, that was a pop out there on this one, but you let it go. So let me see what's going on with her. Looks like got most of that worm off. Wow. That one pop and the majority of that worm is gone. And this one just won't stay. You know, well, yeah, we just had a barge go by, so it's understandable it got knocked around. Yeah, that's understandable. It's totally understand about that. Tell you what, let's go in even closer. As a pop, I saw that. Ah, you old stinker. Yeah, that was a miss, folks. I don't know why. I just set the hook on that and it wasn't there. Yeah, interesting. We're getting a lot of wind coming in all of a sudden from another direction. When you're out fishing, the one thing that bothers you is when the wind changes direction on you. That's telling you that there's some changing weather conditions around. Something abnormal in the atmosphere. It's hard to tell if there are any storms coming today because everything's cloudy and yucky looking. But, do my best. And there we go. That's back. And this is getting bites over here to the right. So let me keep putting her over there. Because that's going to go over my other rod. That's too far over. That was frustrating. That was just a little bit too far over. That's about right. Make sure that line is stabilized before we go to get our other rod back out. And there we go. And this one just needed a couple more worms because whatever that was that hit that rod once got a couple of those little worms off. They're very good at doing that, folks. You guys know that. They can just nip that rod once, and that part of that worm is going to be gone. You can tell she's raising because of the crap that gets on your line every cast. I mean, I can cast this in different locations, folks. With this bigger weight, I can hold pretty much anywhere I want. I just got to remember that there's a snag right out in front of me. Now, to the left of it, you're fine. To the right of it, you're fine. But you don't want to cast on top of it. Unless you go way past it, of course. All right. Looking good, folks. Let's see. Let's see. Katie Kayak, what's going on? How you doing, Katie Kayak? Katie says, hello, Mike and chat. How you doing today, my friend? Let's see. Katie says, hope you're all good. I'm doing okay. We have one freshwater drum up to the bank, popped off on us, but I'm not sure what's going on with these guys. I mean, there's a lot of fish around. It's just they acting a little weird. Let's see, Dorothy says, hi, Katie. Let's see, JR says, stickers are all kinds of merch. Hit me up. Let's see, Bambi says, Randy. Let's see, Danny says, hi, JR. Just rinsed you. Let's see, Randy says, David Jr. afternoon. Let's see, Randy says, hi, Paul. I'm not sure where Paul is. Let's see, Randy says, hi, Paul. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Kayak. I just rinsed you. Got it. See, JR says, thank you. You're quite welcome, my friend. Let's see, Melvin. Hey, Kayak. Use my merch. Let me know, brother. You can, many channels and merch is the best in the West. Let's see, Northern, what's going on? How you doing, Northern? Northern says, Danny, hello. Let's see, Jordan. Dorothy says, hi, Northern. Northern says, hello, Mike. Let's see, JR says, Northern, what's up, brother? 21 people in and seeing 35 thumbs up. Let's see, JR says, Northern has my merch. All right, I got you, my friend. It's okay to promote your channel and your merchandise. Just don't go nuts with it, my friend. This is interesting right now, folks. Well, after yesterday, like bite, and it's kind of dying down today. It's like very, very quiet down here. A couple rocks in the way where I want to sit and stand. I want to get a little closer to this one big rod so I can see her from an angle. And hey, it looks like a hawk or eagle. Couldn't get a good look at him though. He was pointed in the other direction. It looked like a hawk. Well, it might be an offbeat day today, folks. I don't know. She's going to be an offbeat day. It might be a good day to cast out a little deeper and see if we can get a bigger fish to hit. There are off days down here where just something's going on with them, or might be a big old predator or something in here. Maybe a boat was in here, got stuck. I don't know. I mean, Like thousands of different things that can happen down here on the river. Heck, for all I know, there was a whole bunch of people swimming down here last night. Which, you know, crazy enough as it sounds, it does happen. That's our shallow one. It might just be an offbeat day. I don't know. If I'm around that stupid snag, there come off luckily. On the tip. Get off the tip, get off the tip, get off the tip. We're gonna catch something down here, folks. Just bear with me. And it might be our first train coming through today, folks. Sounds like it. Right back around that tip. And they got stuck in a rock. Every time I let go of that line. Seriously. That line twisted up from those spinner I was using the other day. That's way too far out, Michael. I didn't want it that far. Sheesh. Just got started. Had one little drum up to the bank. Haven't caught much yet. I'm just got started. I got some hot dogs and stuff down here I'm going to be cooking a little later on. So I'm going to be, I don't know. It looks like a nice day to come down here, do a little fishing, cook some hot dogs, and you never know what's going on down here. We're might be disconnected from our shirt. That was weird. Got connected to our little thingy there. I don't know what the heck was that, but I'm about. Let's see, Brandy says, Kayak is Paul from UK. I got you, my friend. Let's see, JR says, Danny, I need my an MBP logo so I can send him stuff. Danny has the designs for my logo. I can send you some of those designs. I haven't made any stickers in a while though. Yeah, that was kind of a fad no one was into, so I kind of dropped it. Let's see, John, what's going on? How you doing, John? John says, nice area. Let's see, Bambi says, hi, Randy, Paul in UK. Danny says, hi, Northern. Let's see, Danny says, all wrenches have been given out, Mike. Got you, my friend. Thank you, Danny. Let's see, Danny says, hi, John. Let's see, Dorothy says, could be a change in pressure. It could be anything, really. Change in pressure. I'm seeing some bait fish up here. They could be eating a lot of smaller stuff. They could just be stuffed up. I mean, this water was up quite high for a long time, and then it dropped a little bit, and now she's right back up again. I think it's more like these fish are just getting full. Let's see. John asks, "Where's your net?" That big net I had, it got busted. Yeah, I tried to lift a 20-pound grass carp, and she bent on me, so I have to do it the old-fashioned way and tackle them again. Let's see. Danny says, hi, Daniel. Let's see. Dorothy says, hi, Danny. And let's see. Ranyo, what's going on? How you doing, Ranyo? Ranyo says, hey, hey. Yeah, I can't have a little fire here. It's perfectly legal to build a fire down on the Mississippi River. Oh, there's a pop. Yeah, you have to be within about 100 feet of the river to build it, though. Pop, come on. Come on, folks. Fish on. That's one of my smaller hooks. And what we got? Whoa, buddy, whoa. Boy, I was pecking on it real light. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't think this is a drum, folks. He's not fighting like a drum. The way she's running like that. Yep, buffalo. Buffalo carp. Let me my other rods out of the way. Yeah, I had to go out deep for this fish, folks. He was not in shallow. Yep, helicopter. Ah, man, that sucker was out there. Cast that way too far out. Yeah, that's a solid 7 or 8 pound buffalo. Yeah, these guys are usually a little easier to land than grass carp. Usually, not always, because sometimes these guys have got attitudes. All right. Here we go, folks. Yeah, very, very lightly hooked. That's where those small hooks come in handy. We got him, folks. Had him. Got him. Very, very lightly hooked in the mouth. It took us a little while to catch one, folks, but we got one. That's a nice one. Yeah, that's about 6, 7 pounds. Not too massive per se. A river brute, but not a river monster. Beautiful fish, my friends. Gotta love it. That's why the name of this video is Gotta Love It. Hi, buddy. Yeah, we gotta get around to our little barbecue spot here. Yeah, she is not happy. Beautiful fish, folks. Look at that dark black tail on the back. Gorgeous silvery white. Beautiful, my friends. Hey, we got one. No skunk on the feed, folks. No skunk for sure. All right, I'm going to give this one to Dave. One a customer. I'm going to give him a name. I got too much shit to do. I know if you want. All right. Yeah. I'll be around here. Whatever you catch, I'll take out. All right. He said they want to put some fish on. Hey, not this world. How about the next week? Ride down to my customer down there. Oh, that'd be awesome. All right. Awesome. Yeah, he just offered me a trip to this private lake down there. There's some big bluegill and bass in that lake he's talking about. I'm surprised because a lot of people they just keep catch these fish. To be honest, I don't get it. I catch them pretty easy. Oh, just me or not. Yeah, Dave's a pretty cool guy. He offered me a trip to go down to his private lake this upcoming weekend. That might be a live stream coming up, folks. You heard it here, first. Yeah, apparently there's some big old pound bluegill in there, some 7-8 pound largemouth, and he's got one lake down there that's got supposedly has some massive channel catfish in it. Yeah, that spun the heck out of my line. You know how those buffalo can spin and spin and spin and spin. All right, let me get this over here, get this rod back out. Now I gotta get the other two rods back out as well, so and I can. I couldn't hear you. Oh, you're welcome. Awesome. Yeah, the day's just getting started too. Oh, worms, dang it. Yeah, it's hard to hear you through the train, you know what I mean? Plus, I got the stocking cap on to kind of, it is a little nipply out here, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, definitely. No sun either to help, because that sun helped quite a bit yesterday. Yeah, and they're not really flopping around today, but you can see them coming up to the surface every once in a while. So they're still here. It's just they're not quite as active as they were yesterday. I think it's just the cooler temperatures, you know, changing conditions. Pressure's probably bouncing around quite a bit right now. Probably going up and down because this wind keeps changing direction down here, which is kind of leading me to the conclusion that there's some storm fronts that are coming through, but they're dying over St. Louis. Because our St. Louis is kind of like a big old desert location, folks, where it'll kill a lot of those big storms that go over. And that was like, where was that? That was straight out about, yeah, right about there. Wasn't too far out, but wasn't too close in. So that was a very light peck bite, folks. That was very, very light, in fact. That rod was just barely, and I came to the conclusion that he was just sitting there and chewing on it, and that's what he was. That hook was right in the outer part of the lip. That was a smaller hook, folks. So that's the reason why I was able to even hook that fish. That was one of my number 8s. That wasn't one of my bigger hooks. Because I know I'm not going to be able to bend that hook out with that setup. I mean, I could double that rod over and break that rod, and I wouldn't bend that hook out. But on this big rod, yeah, that 20-pound test, yeah, the rod's got a heck of a lot of power behind her. Maybe a little bit too much for the type of fishing that I'm doing. Look at this, folks. When I started this feed, there was no water here. And we might be pushing our rods back a little bit. I'm not moving spots, but my little spot is going underwater. That's interesting. That's very, yeah, you can tell she's raising, folks. You can definitely tell she's raising. Let's see, 25 people in and 42 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, I can light a fire here. Let's see, Norman says Ranyo. Danny says hi, Hannah. Let's see, Dorothy says hi, Hannah. Let's see, Danny says hi, Ranyo. Mirror lines are slack. Gotta tighten those up. Yeah, hopefully that's the mic feed's killing that in the background. Let's see. Bambi says, I don't want to sound ungrateful and all. I do come here, but I like y'all, especially Pap and y'all, but I usually can't stay all day. So I totally understand if you don't give me one. You're fine, my friend. It's just I haven't made stickers in a long time. I mean, I might have a few lying around. You'd have to send me an address in my email for me to send you those. I mean, it only costs a sticker. It only costs a stamp. It's just I gotta find the dang things. And we look overly, yeah. Our signal quality doesn't look so good right today, folks. Is that just me, or do we look a little pixeled? I'm not sure about that, folks. We look a little off. No, it's just me, I guess. Well, we look okay. Let me know if the signal goes off and on. That looked a little peculiar to me for a minute. Let's see. Hannah says hi. Let's see. Randy says, "Welcome to the Fantasy River." Let's see. Bambi says, "Boss, the train, the train." Let's see. Ewa says, "Fine, fine on, my friend." Let's see. Bambi says, "No, clear here." All right, it's just my tablet. It can go a little wonky sometimes, but we're looking good right now. Let's see. 26 people in and 43 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's something a lot of moderators don't do, is tell their tell the host when the camera is gone. 'Cause that can happen very easily. I mean, all of a sudden you'll drop quality for some reason. Like your cell phone starts to overheat, right? And instead of turning off, it'll drop the quality on your live stream, or maybe the signal quality in your area is just dropped quite a bit. Maybe there's more people coming in and using the signal in your location. There are plenty of reasons why that signal can drop. For like, oh yeah, I've got 5Gs, but when I turn it onto my live stream, it drops to 2Gs. As soon as you turn it back off, it shows 5Gs. Because basically, you've got like a whole bunch of people or a whole bunch of signals, or an area that's doesn't have a great signal, so there's just a lot of reasons that can happen. It is a frustration with my fellow YouTubers. I have it too sometimes, especially in certain locations. Yeah, today I dig twice as many worms, and I don't know if I'm going to need them today. Like yesterday, we went through so many so quickly. I couldn't have. I'd have had 300 of them down here. I'd have gone through them. Because you can see all that buffalo. Usually, I get torn to pieces by drum, right? So, what? Just a gobble of little red worms. Yep, a little hook. I got it on my smaller rod, so I can put that smaller hook on that smaller rod. I can't bend those hooks out. Now, if I put that little hook on this rod, I'd bend it out, and that's a brown eagle claw. So that's a bait holder. It's supposed to not bend, but with this thing, I got a 1/0 on here to not be able to bend it on these fish down here. Yeah, it's got some power to her for sure. Those 20-pound grass carp I can land in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So I'll drag them in and I'll get them right here and I'll let them thrash in there in the shallows until they poop themselves out. Oh, this is 20 on here, but if I put on anything below about 15-pound test, just doubling the rod over will break the line. Yeah, this is one powerful rod. A friend of mine, Dirty 30 on YouTube, he sent it to me in the mail. Yep, it glows in the dark. It's a big cat, crazy cat rod. So it's an expensive rod. Now the reel is it's just like a what is it, a Shakespeare Alpha. It's an an old spinning reel. I had to put it back together. I had that in my closet. I stopped using it years ago. That big reel. That's kind of a thing with me. I stopped using that big reel like years ago because to be honest, it's too expensive for these big rods. But someone sent it in the mail to me. I was like, oh, might as well put it back together. That barge traffic's picked up big time right now, folks. Ain't no skunk on the feed. We got one like a 7-pound buffalo. I'm not gonna shake a stick at that fish. That was a good one. We haven't gotten a real nice buffalo like that in a while. Now our last feed, we got a couple over here, but especially with them not hitting as well as normal out here right now. Let me get one of my night crawlers out of here. I don't have many. I only got like a dozen of them big night crawlers. And I'm kind of using the smaller ones on the smaller rods because I don't really have that many of them to spare. Knowing me, I got the big cat rod out here. I always seem to get the big ones on the smaller rods. I get the big rod out there deep, nothing touches it. But I come in here shallow with the with the smaller rods, and that's the ones I get the big ones on. Yeah, I gotta fix that eye. So like one little groove sticks out right there. Gotta file that down. It's not sharp, it just sticks out. Catches my line all the time. That's a good cast, Michael. Let that sink straight down. All right. Nothing wrong with my techniques today, folks. It's just sometimes these guys can be a little unpredictable. I want that rod a little bit up higher and look at that. These waves are going over my. Check this out. How fast this water's raising. I built this rock face and there was no water coming over here. Now she's coming over where I've got my rod set up. Whoa. Ah. That's how you know the barge is getting too close, when she's knocking up that much of a wave. If I'd have known that, I'd built the rock face back further, but I like to have my rods close to the water with these guys. They're hard to hook when you keep your rod tip up too high. Knocked me off the spot again. Oh, let's get back out of here. I might have to decrease the size of this leader. That's going to take me forever, but I probably should. Yeah, let's decrease the size of this leader. Because you remember I said earlier about these guys, when the water gets higher, they get closer to the bottom. All right, that's much closer. I wish I'd have that tag end. I don't know where my clippers are. Put them into my bag, I think. Let's see. They're right there. Yeah, this line's a little too heavy for me to cut with my scissors. All right, she's trimmed. I don't like tag ends, folks. What the heck? Seriously? Well, that was dumb. Okay. I cut the tag in. What the heck? All right, let's do that again. That's weird. I never done that before. Trying to do too many things at once, I guess. Keep an eye on those rods. Waves going over. And this one I shouldn't even need to, because it'd be so close to the tip already. My old stinker, get on there. And there we go, that's back. I don't know what I cut the tag in. I don't get that one. How did I do that? I don't even know how I did that. Instead of cutting the tag in, I cut the main line. Duh. And we're going a lot closer to the bottom. I think these guys are holding closer to the bottom today. I think these barges have something to do with it too. They're knocking up a lot of muck and debris. Not crap all into my reel. Wonderful. This is a cheap reel to begin with, and now I can barely reel it now. Friggin' water out of there. Probably just ruined that little Ozark Trails reel. These other two can take that water down here, but that little Ozark Trail is not designed to get water in there. That one's set back up. All three looking stable. All right, let's see what's going on in chat. He says, fine on my end. I got you. Let's see. Let's see, Nafta, what's going on? How you doing, Nafta? Nafta says, yo. See, Northern says, how much has the water come up? Since I got here, it's gone up about 3 inches. Since yesterday we were down here, it's probably up about 2 feet. Let's see, Northern. Let's see, Denny says, hi, Nafta. Let's see, Peg, what's going on? How you doing, Peg? Peg says hi. Yeah, she's raising pretty fast. We had a tremendous amount of rain on this river recently, and all that stuff is finally washing down from the creeks and the Missouri River. She's rising back up fast. Let's see, Northern says, I'm always tell you when the feed is bad, and I thank you for that, Northern. You never know. I mean, even as close as I can get this, folks, it's hard to tell sometimes. Let's see, Peg says, and he says, Peg, hi, love name. Let's see, Peg Leg says, because everyone wants download speed for YouTube. Yep. Upload speed streaming. Yep. You got it. There's a lot of reasons that you can, a lot of people will fight with that stuff. Let's see, Gator, what's going on? How you doing, Gator? Which rod? That was a pretty good bite. Interesting. I just seen it. Just give me a second. That drag's a little loose. That was a terrible cast, Michael. Absolutely terrible. Let's get that right there. That's better. Reel that in a few feet. Right where that current and back current meet. Let me get it myself. Got me nervous like that. Oh well. Let's see. Danny says, "Hi, Colt." Let's see. Gator says, "Danny, brother." Let's see. Gator with the googly emoji. Gator says, "I'll keep a comments on that term myself." Let's see. Danny says, "You know what to do, Colt." Let's see. Dorothy says, "Hi, Gator." Gator says, "Hi, Dorothy." Let's see. Tom, what's going on? How you doing, Tom? Let's see. Tom says, "Hi." Bambi says, "Wow, Peg, very interesting information. That kind of understanding." Let's see. Danny says, "Hi, Tom." Let's see. Bambi says, "Hi, Gator." Bambi says, "Hi, Tom." Let's see. Tom says, "Hi, everyone." Let's see. Dorothy says, "Hi, Tom." Tom says, "What's the fish count?" Just one today, actually. It's pretty slow. We've got one, maybe 7.5, 8 pound buffalo. We also had one drum up to the bank. She fell off though. Yeah, it's kind of slow today right now. I'm not sure why. The water's been raising quite a bit recently, so they could be just these guys are getting fed up eventually. I mean, fish do eventually get full. And see Sherry, what's going on? How you doing, Sherry? Sherry says hi. And Richard, what's going on? How you doing, Richard? Richard says, "Get him." How you doing today, Rich? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Let's see. Bambi says, "All right, hi, Sherry." Richard and blessings. Let's see. Danny says, "Hi, Anna." Let's see. Bambi says, Anna Bobama. Hey. Let's see. Anna says, "Hi." Let's see. And Chris, what's going on? How you doing, Chris? Chris says, "Good luck, Mike." Chris says, "Hello, Anna." Let's see. Danny says, "Hi, Chris." And Chris with the heart emojis. Let's see. Anna says, hi, Dad. Hi, Daddy. Hi. Let's see. Chris says, "Danny, Mr. President." Let's see. Dorothy says, "Hi, Chris." Let's see. Alex says, "Hi." How you doing, Alex? Let's see. Danny says, "Hi, Alex." Let's see. Bambi says, "BRB, I really do love fishing with y'all. I'll be back." All right, come back soon, Bambi. Let's see. Alex asks, "What am I fishing for?" Let's see. We've got night crawlers on. So down on the Mississippi River, our potential species are freshwater drum, channel catfish, blue catfish, common carp, grass carp, buffalo, sturgeon, occasional striper. Yeah, there are some good species down here. Recently, we've been getting a lot of freshwater drum, grass carp, and buffalo, with a couple channel and blues mixed in. Let's see. Chris says, "Anna's my daughter, Mike." Let's see. I know that. Good googly. Let's see. Alex says, "Doing good." You don't think I remember that? She Louise. I ain't that old yet, Chris. Think, oh man, think I'm on that old man. Yeah. You like act like I don't know that. I know that. I don't really. I give up. I'm around that stuff going out there again. Get off it. I had a lot of crap on it. I could tell just the way that rod was kind of pulling in the current. I'll get you, Chris. I'll get you. Hey, my daughter. I'm joking, guys. I am. I'm joking, my friends. That's a little joke Chris and I have going along. Every time I'm on the live feed, he's got to go, you know, that's my daughter. Yeah, I know it, boy. What are you going to do, folks? Oh, boy. That's a pretty good gob. I mean, that's a nice little gobby gobble worms there. Yeah, you can tell, folks, all of a sudden this whole cove is just getting covered in a whole bunch of driftwood stuff coming in. That's from this rising water, the barge traffic, all kinds of stuff right now. I just don't like that cast. That was like too far over to the right. It was a good cast. It was just it had been in the way of my other rods. She stays this slow, folks. I can fire up our little pity spot and cook up some hot dogs. I'm kind of hungry. I don't know about you guys. Ah, crap. Crap. Eat off of there. Little thinker. I think I might try this in. What the heck? We haven't done that yet. We're going to cast that in closer. The lighter stuff, cast that in really close to the bank. That's got to be in like a little sandy spot right there. Ah. Yeah, this one's holding out there fine. She's not getting any dang old bites today. A nice big old gama night crawlers on there. Night crawlers and weird worms. Casting in multiple locations, like 1 minute out deep, 1 minute out shallow. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those days, offbeat days down here. You get a couple bites, but they're really good fish. As opposed to all kinds of smaller ones. It can do that, folks. It can very easily do that down here. Especially with changing weather conditions. Yesterday, we had like, 15, 20 mile per hour winds. The sun was out blistering. Today, not all that much wind, but she's much, much cooler. I mean, we were probably pushing, 80 degrees yesterday. Today, we're barely getting into the 60s, if that. Let's see. Northern says, Danny, you still here, buddy? How are you doing? Let's see. Hannah says, how's everyone doing today? For me, I'm exhausted. I've been working nonstop the past 2 weeks, from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. I know the feeling. I remember those 9 to 5, and then add a couple of hours to it as well. Days in my youth. I hope you have I hope you have some good plans set up for this weekend. That's the only thing I can say for you. When you get a day off, I hope you got some nice plans set up. Let's see, 20 people in it, seeing 52 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you. Arnold says hi. And see, Drissy, what's going on? How you doing, Drissy? Ned with the heart emojis. Well, then says Hannah, take a day off. Yep, that's the best advice anyone can give. Just Even one day off, go down to your local park, set out, feed the ducks, the geese, take a walk around, just. And see, Hannah says, this is my day off. Well, get out there and do some outdoors and stuff. Just get out and enjoy the day. Or not. I mean, you can stay in with us if you want. Let's see, Chris says Northern. Let's see, Chris says Hannah. Let's see, Hannah says, today and Friday are my days, my only 2 days off. Got you, my friend. Well, set up something good to do tomorrow. Get out, like I said, just walk around the parks or something, Get some sun. Let's see, Thomas says, how you doing, Thomas? Thomas says, MVP. Well, we're trying so hard. Let's see, Northern says, Thomas, hello. Let's see, Denny just says, hi, Thomas. Northern says, I'm doing good, Danny. Let's see, Denny says, good to hear. Thomas says, hey, Northern, brother, my man. Let's see, Dorothy says, hi, Thomas. See, 18 people in and 51 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. If you guys are enjoying the show, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't, of course. If you have, fine. It would be the day I come down here. Like yesterday, I had almost no time to fish, right? I'd go by the pharmacy and everything, and fish were real pulverizing anything I threw out here. And today, it's the polar opposite of that. I think that one pull over there, I think that was just some debris. What time is it? Let's see, it's about 2 o'clock. So as I can put some hot dogs on the fire, cook something. Yeah, I could cook up hot dogs. What the heck? I'm getting a little hungry. So much for self-lighting charcoal, huh? Instant light charcoal. Right. Cheap old crap. Well, instant light charcoal. I'm going to have to add some lighter fluid too. And just a little drop. Great instant light charcoal, huh? Yeah, we just got a little like pit and stuff set up here. We're gonna make a few hot dogs. Yeah, it does give me a chance to warm up my hands too a little bit. Got a little piece of wood here. Got that little piece of driftwood. I could put some driftwood over here. It's kind of cool out here, ain't it? We're gonna let that burn down here, and we got a little cooking stick out, a little piece of mulberry. Nice, thin, wet. Shouldn't catch you on fire. Hold 2 or 3 hot dogs. I want to let that burn down a little bit before I cook anything on her. Don't want to get too close to the fire. I got my beard. It'll get curled up. Let me go get the chat. See what's going on. Man, it's so much more comfortable over here, folks. Tell you what, by that water, man, I'm freezing my nubby nubs off. Let's see. What are we going on in chat here? Hey, brother Northern. Good to hear. Let's see. Thomas says hello, Dorothy. Buddy says hi. Thomas says hi. Denny says hi, Morris. Let's see. Tommy says we're here supporting our YouTube fishing family, and we appreciate it, Thomas. Thank you, my friend. Let's see. NJ Guard, what's going on? How you doing, NJ Guard? NJ Guard says afternoon, Mike. Let's see. Northern says, my bud. Let's see, Northern says, nice fire. Thank you, my friend. Just some little, like a little rock pit. They're very easy to make, very safe. I mean, if worst comes to worst, all you have to do is go over there, grab a bucket of water, and toss it on there. And the water's like 5 feet over there. How you doing, Yogi? Yogi says hi. Let's see. Danny, hi, Yogi. NJ says, hey, Northern. Yogi says, hi, Danny. Let's see. Danny says, hi, Yogi. Let's see. Bambi says, hi, NJ Guard. And let's see. Yogi says, hi, Dorothy. See 29 people in and see 56 thumbs up, folks. Awesome, my friends. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Yeah, this rod's getting pulled because it's getting crap on it out there. Look at that stuff. It's just doubling over my rod with gunk. Look at that stuff. Yeah. Leaves like yuck. Got off a daggone line. I think I'm going to cast this in a little closer. What the heck? We got that buffalo carp out deeper, but at the same time, I'm not getting as much crud on my line over there. See, I need something to fan her with. Wish I'd have brought a piece of cardboard with me. I didn't, so oh well. We're just going to let that burn down. And spread out those coals and cook a couple hot dogs out here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little hungry. Yep, Northern, am I going to cook on it? Yes, I am, my friends. Got a package of hot dogs here. Yeah, the self-lighting charcoal needed lighter fluid to light. I know, folks, right? And I'm right in the windy area. I want to be to the very front of it. So right to the side. The wind's blowing that way, so that's a little bit too warm on that spot. That feels so much better. Yeah, I guarantee you it ain't over 60 degrees right now, right out here, folks. It's about 55, 56 degrees. The wind's blowing 8, 10 miles per hour. You guys ain't hearing it because I got a mic feed on, and when you get down by the water, it's kind of stopped down here, but she's blowing pretty good. You can tell by the way the flames are getting blown around. And after I cook, I'm gonna put some like wood on this, keep her going for a while. That way we've got a nice little warm spot to stay. By the way, let me go get a couple of pieces of driftwood here, see if I can make sure I've got something to put on here. Sorry if the mic feed cuts off. I'll talk to you guys as long as I can here. Grab some pieces of driftwood here. Not a whole lot around here, I'm afraid. I think someone's been down here already, started a fire or something, because there's not a lot of driftwood around. Yeah, I'm wearing a mic feed so everyone can hear me. That's okay. And that'll do. And that will do as well, and so will that. Yeah, this has been all broken, so obviously someone's been cooking down here. So a couple little sticky sticks on here. Yeah, this is mulberry, so it is a berry tree. Gotta watch what you put. when you're gonna cook. Like fruits, nuts, berry trees, they're all good. Kind of want to stay away from like cedar or sycamore, any type of stinky wood. Guys, it's just slow today, man. It's not just me that's cold. These fish are feeling these jumps in temperature as well. Definitely. Yeah, you can tell this is mulberry because it's real stringy. Yeah, she's about ready to. This can be the. Yeah, no more charcoal smell. I think we're ready to go. Don't worry, folks. I'm keeping an eye on those rods as well. Still keeping an eye on them. You guys know that guaranteed, if you try to eat down a river or cook something, something's going to try to pull your rods in. So that's pretty much our little cooking apparatus. Very, very simple. Yep, now I'm fishing. I do this all the time. It's just people don't. I usually don't put it on the feed and stuff. I just come down here, cook some hot dogs or something or other, and I'm gonna push them down just a little bit more because that stick's a little thin in that one spot. Yeah, this is a wet mulberry stick, so she shouldn't catch on fire too bad. I don't know about you guys, but I like my hot dogs pretty well cooked. Get those browning real good. Yeah, see how that stick is not catching on fire? Yikes. Twisting up on us, ain't it? Come on. Ow. That sucker's hot. Ah. You guys are enjoying the show, my friends. Yeah, these coals will stay hot for hours out here. Yeah, like I said, I don't know about you guys, but I like my hot dogs nice and cooked. It's the same basic technique if you were cooking fish, except I'd have a stick across here with the fish on there. And I just let that set there for about, 10-15 minutes and then turn around and cook her on the other side for about 15 minutes. Hot dogs are pretty easy to cook. Oh, dang it. Ah! My stick broke. Ow, 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 ow. Oh well. Good enough. Good enough. Stick broke. That's weird. No worries about that. That was in the hot coals. It's not like the hot coals are dirty. And they didn't even get anything on them. And they're in and out so quick. And my stick broke, folks. Kind of half stale hot dog buns. I just bought these things. Nah, not at all. Every single cast I was getting bites out there, and today, same spot, same location, same baits. Nah, they're much slower today. Mm-hmm. About what? Mm. Like I said, he's still working on the electricity, trying to get that fully on. Once he gets that on, I'm gonna be moving over there for a while until he finishes working on this. Hey, he's got a truck. He's gonna help me. See what's going on in chat. Yep. See Spawn, what's going on? How you doing, Spawn? Spawn says hi. Good. Hi, Danny, and good appetite. Hello, from Hungary. I seen Wild. What's going on? How you doing, Wild? Wild says Northern. What's chilling? Wild says let's go. Buddy, how you doing? Buddy says hi. I'm not sure what language that is, but the B there in the pink. How you doing, my friend? See 28 people in, seeing 59 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yep. Now this is fishing, folks. When the fish don't bite, just sit back, cook a couple hot dogs, enjoy a nice drink of soda, and nothing better. We did get one buffalo, so no skunk for sure. It was about 7 or 8 pounds. It was a nice buffalo. Ugh. That was good. I want another one. I want another. May I please have another? Yes, you may. Oh boy, folks. Oh, yeah, I got buns as well. Little cheap hamburger buns. I didn't bring any condiments though. Oh well. Yeah, I usually keep some in my bag too, but you know what? These taste really good. I mean, I use mulberry on there to just give it a little bit of an extra wood flavory smell. Let's see, Buddy says hi. Let's see. Bambi says 3 ya hi. Let's see. Bambi says ah. Let's see. Wild says let's go. Let's see, Bambi says, heck yeah, wild. Let's see, Northern says, watching fish, wildman. Let's see, Bambi says, I tried to sub wild, but I always, was. I got you, my friend. You know how YouTube can be. They can drop those subs for no reason. Let's see, Danny says, throw on the hot dogs, Mike. Let's see, Bambi says, Spawn, what's a name? Let's see, Wild says, I know it, Northern. Let's leave Life of Bluegrass. What's going on? How you doing, Bluegrass? Cooking with a sumac stick. Oh, man, I'd have to dig around to find. I just use a mulberry. See, Spawn says, hi, hungry. See, Bambi says bluegrass. Bambi says, hi, hungry. See, Gary says northern. See, Mahat says, hi. Mahat says, hi, my friends. What are you eating? You know, fire cooked hot dogs. Ah, and I'm not going to waste the hot dogs on these fish. Are you nuts? Gary says, use a piece of hot dog as bait. Like I said, they ain't getting my hot dogs. They had the worms. See, Bambi says, Gary, can I say, yet we have each other places and I can't stand rejection. Either way. See, Northern says, Gary, hello. Let's see, Bambi says, that's a spawn. Let's see, Bluegrass says, sumac is a poison. Don't use that stick. See, that's what happens when you joke. See, all of a sudden you think that I was going to use a stick like that, and I reversed that joke on you. Ha, 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 ha. Man, there's a lot of gunk on the line right now, too. It's probably having a lot of trouble finding the baits out here. Pop, pop, pop. You little stinker. That was a bite, though. Right by the bank. I mean, it's super close. From one day to the next, I couldn't keep bait on the lines. And today, I can't. They're very slow. It's just a little slower than normal. That was a pretty good bite on that one, though. He's hitting it pretty good. Yeah. Here comes the stupid waves from the barge again. And I'm going to have to pull our rods back here. Because these waves are going to keep pulling on our stuff. Either that or prop them up a little higher. Yeah, I'm going to have to just prop them up a little bit higher. For now. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I need a couple more rocks here. And the water's rising up here pretty fast, so we're gonna have to prop our rods up a little bit higher. Ah, dang it. Stay up. There we go. That's reset. I can get back to eating my lunch. Hey, got a nice. I kind of picked this spot. I got a nice little flat, halfway flat rock to sit here. It actually feels pretty good right now. Let's see. Werewolf, what's going on? How you doing, Werewolf? Werewolf says hi, Mike. You boss says get him. Yeah, that was a pretty good little bite. I'm not sure what that was. Let's see. Keep it up, Sue. You soon go to work tomorrow. Let's see. Bambi's laughing her butt off. Let's see. Werewolf says hi, Mike. Werewolf says hi all. Werewolf says hey, Danny. Brother says plain whole dogs are delicious, man. Yep, plain hot dogs, definitely. You want some? All right. Let's check them. See, Bambi says, hey, Werewolf. Werewolf says, Mike, how are you? Doing okay, my friend. One decent, nice buffalo today, and I had a freshwater drum up to the bank and come off. Fight's a little slow today, but oh yeah, it's been pouring down rain recently, Bluegrass. It's been we've had a good maybe 4 inches of rain in the last couple days. It washed a lot of the sand bank away. Bluegrass says hello, Danny. Yep, I used mulberry stick. Yeah, this stick, it's a fruit tree, so it gives the hot dogs a little bit better flavor. I'm still hungry. And there goes the train, folks. There goes the train. No skunk today for sure, but man, to have this spot is this quiet. It's kind of strange. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I need a couple more little sticky sticks here. Need a couple more little sticky sticks on her. Yeah, the charcoal's fine. It's just yeah, the mulberries are in blossom right now, surprisingly, because they usually uh, bloom right in the middle, right before it gets like super hot. And The weather's just been so weird this year that they've been blossoming early. Yikes. Yep, she's barely. Even that wet mulberry's getting close to burning on there. All right, I'll see you, buddy. All right. All right, drive safe. Here's the stick goes again. Ah, crap. Should have gotten a little thicker stick. Oh well. Should have gotten just a little thicker stick. Just a little thicker. Well, it's close. This is more like a marshmallow stick than a hot dog stick. That's what I should have done. I should have brought some marshmallows too. Oops. One more time on this side, and I think this one's done as well. Alrighty. This will be my last one, I think. Freeze my limit. I'm a little guy. I got a small stomach. I got a small stomach, folks. So, oh yeah, that one was done. Woo, hot. Yeah, but they don't often hit after a rain. So a lot of times, what will happen is they'll feed up during the rain, and after the pressure drops, they'll kind of back off. Let's see. Bambi says I might be back in. Good day, and thank you and blessings and tight lines. All right, bye, Bambi. Have a great rest of your day, my friend. Uh, yeah, well, carp will eat any type of vegetables, fruits, berries, nuts. As long as it's soft enough and small enough for them to eat it, they'll eat it. Carp I've seen come and eating grass seeds. I've seen them eat cottonseed. I mean, all the time I'll see them come up and eating cottonseed. I'll see them underneath like flooding trees when the mulberries are falling into the lake. I also see them during the late part of uh, the fall, early winter when the persimmons when they ripen and start falling into the lake and the rivers. Yeah, they'll hit that too. It's the only chicken fan. Only chicken fan says any luck. We've caught one buffalo about 7.5, 8 pounds today. That's the only thing we've. Well, we did have a nice freshwater drum up to the bank and fell off. So it's a little slow today. I'm a little surprised, especially after yesterday. Let's see, Void, what's going on? Void says, "You eating the hot dog on a stick?" No, I got hot dog buns. See, Hannah says, I don't like hot dogs. Well, it's the best thing and easiest thing to cook out here, Hannah. It says, stinky liver. Deep cats will head after all that rain. Yeah, they should be hitting the night crawlers, though. See, Miss Giggy, what's going on? How you doing, Miss Giggy? Miss Giggy says, Mike in chat. Northern says, Miss Giggy. See, Hannah said, I had it before and I didn't like it. Tell you what, hot dogs cooked on an open fire taste totally different than cooked at home. The the smoky charcoal like flavor. That's why I put a few of those mulberries on mulberry branches on there. It totally changes the flavor. Makes it taste like a smoked sausage. And for the price, I can't beat that. Those hot dogs are only $1 for a pack of them. And I had the hot dog bun flying around from our last trip with Jason a couple of days ago. I think that's it for a while. I will put some wood on here so you guys can get a little cool fire. Yeah, I don't think that's breaking. I did. Keep the fire going. It is pretty cool out here, folks. It's in the 50s, so and that's pretty wet. I don't think that's gonna burn at all, but that's our cooking stick. Get rid of that. Where's my other sticks here? Ah, there they are. Just put a couple more sticks on here. Get a little burn. See what's going on with these rods. Oh, look at that. What it just did. Dadgummit. That wrapped around that rod like 9 times. Ooh. Excuse me. Man. Now, these guys are not hitting great today, folks. They're pretty quiet today. I was gonna do a much longer live feed, but if these guys aren't hitting so good today, I'm not gonna waste you guys' time. And that worm's been sitting out there all that time, and you guys know how they've been tearing worms up down here. You can't keep them on the hook. Today, they don't want nothing to do with them. It's like they're waiting for something, and it ain't come, so they're mad. They're just, Put some fresh worm on this one. Yeah, I'm done. That's all we'll eat. That was just kind of a late lunch. Water's raising pretty fast down here, and shouldn't be bothering them though. It's not dangerously rising. It's not like it's up into the trees or anything yet. It's just starting to rise. You can see there's wakes up out here on the surface of the water. Those are fish coming up to the top. They just don't seem to be hitting much today. Pretty quiet. Pretty dang quiet today. I'm not sure why. You know what? I could just dive bomb a couple casts over to. What the heck is wrong with that drag? I could just dive bomb a couple casts further over here to the right. This has got brand new line on it. I can bomb her out there. All right, that's situated. All right, let's come back and check that chat. Ah. Yeah, we got a little bit of the driftwood wood down here. The stuff I grabbed is driftwood. Probably still a little damp. Are the most tasty yum yums. Gotcha. Let's see, Rose, what's going on? How you doing, Rose? Rose says hi. See, Northern says, let's go, MVP. Let's go, boys, and run it up in the chat for MVP. Fishing in YouTube, folks. Woohoo! Yep, it really helps out the channel. Yep, like and subscribe, my friends. Let's see, Bluegrass says, yep, Northern. See, Northern says, turtles are actually really ruthless. Take your bait and your hooks. I don't have much trouble with turtles down here. Every once in a while you get a soft shell, but I like soft shells. They fight pretty hard. See, 18 people in and 67 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, it's pretty cool out here, folks. It's nice to have a fire. And that's just a little rock pit. Very easy to manage. When I'm done, all I have to do is go over there and grab some sand from over there and dump it on top of them, on top of what's left of the coals. That'll put them out. Because that sand's wet sand also, so it puts it out pretty good. Oh, where's my stuff here? Come on. Oh, there it is. Ah. Yeah, wind's blowing. It's blowing pretty good out here right now, folks. Cheers. Well, yeah, they do fight hard. They're not hard, but they do fight hard. See what I said there? Because soft shell turtles are soft, but they fight hard. Teenage Mutant Ninja soft shell turtles. You know, this says, you're hilarious, Mike. Turtles fight hard. Oh, let's see. Northern says, Mike loves catching soft shells. They are fun to catch, actually. Let's see how long we've been in. There's a fish right by the bank in there. That couldn't have been a foot or so from the shoreline. Let's see. Bluegrass says the back turtles will tear you up. Yeah, they got pretty good claws. I've never really had too much problem with them. I think that was a bite on the far rod. So I popped it hard. That couldn't have been the wind bouncing that rod. That's a heavy duty rod. And I somehow banged up my thumb. There that fish goes again, right by the bank. Wonder what the heck that is. Oh yeah, snapping turtles and alligator snappers. Yeah, that definitely tear you up if you don't handle them properly. Yeah, they'll bite a finger off. Bite a pretty good chunk out of you, in fact. Oh, that's not what we call them down here. We just call them alligator snappers and just regular snapping turtles. We have both species here. Big old alligators, you find them up in West Alton. You don't see many of them around anymore. They're more it's like someone calls a freshwater drum, white perch. Oh well, that's not a white perch. Yeah, well it's they're nicknames, common names. Nicknames change from place to place across the country. Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter. And here comes another massive barge doing about 60 upriver. Let's see. Didn't know the states call them leatherbacks. Where are you from, Bluegrass? Yeah, that's gonna make a heck of a wave, folks. Freshwater drum, Gaspergo, yep, ship, sheephead, three names, yep, for drum. Different names, different locations. And leatherbacks here, which are still a snapping turtle. Yeah, the snapping turtles get quite a bit bigger though. Yeah, the alligator snappers get quite a bit bigger. Well, then you just basically said, "There's a bite on that. That is a bite on that far rod. He's popping on it." But like I said, you just contradicted yourself there. Like A leatherback is a snapping turtle, but it's not a snapping turtle, but it is a snapping turtle. Okay. I'm sure I missed something in that conversation. Get away from that snag. That's why I'm reeling it in so fast. Casting right over top of this tree. I'm sure I missed something in that conversation. Let's take this again. A rock is not a rock, but it is a rock. Of course, a rock is a rock. A snapping turtle is a snapping turtle. If a leatherback is a different species, then it's a different species. I finally cleaned it. Yeah, I was definitely getting a bite out there. Thought I saw that rod bouncing. Now the barge slows down right after it's made the massive wake in front of us. It wasn't that far out either. It was like right about there. Yeah, I figured out what would happen if I cast her down there. But that's stuck in the rocks. If it gets a fish, it's going to pull it off pretty quick. That is a bell weight. It should stick in one direction, not another. So when a fish pulls on it, it should pull it off. We got hiccups. It's just a little bit too fast there, I guess. Hey, well, at least we ate something good out here today. There we go. Yeah, I didn't bring much wood up from up there. I just brought a little bit. Yeah, a lot of the driftwood gets picked off from people fishing at night. They'll build massive bonfires and sit way away from them instead of putting a. Yeah, now we're pixelated. I can see that. No mistaking it now. I can see the top of that bridge is super pixelated. Yeah, just too much iron down here right now. Yeah, just too much iron moving around right now, folks. I don't know what a water dog is. Let's see, Bluegrass says Ohio State River in Pittsburgh, PA. We have dogfish. We have Gremlin, or Bopin as they're commonly known. We have mud dogs, mud puppies. Yeah, mud puppies. Yes, we do have those. Mud puppies or mud dogs, as they're as I caught one of those about 6 months ago. I was over on the rocky shoreline over there. The water's up really high. It must have washed down from a creek. Now they usually don't live down here. It's just a little bit too hardcore for them, but they do wash out of the creeks. They don't last very long. They usually get eaten. Yeah, they look a little bit like a flathead, except they got feet and a tail. They look like a little baby flathead. In fact, I thought it was a little flathead at first until I saw he had legs on him. There's another name for him too. Can't remember. You catch them on hot dogs, okay? I catch them on worms sometimes, on little pieces of cut bait. I catch them in the cast net on occasion as well. I think they're endangered on this river. You're not supposed to keep them. But if you catch them in like a regular creek or something, it's perfectly fine. It's one of those weird rules. Yep. They do look a lot like a little baby flathead catfish. They got like red like things sticking out from the sides of their. I've not heard that they're poisonous. There are certain uh lizards and other amphibians that are poisonous, but these aren't poisonous. Usually something poisonous, a reptile will let you know because it's very bright colored. Like the poisonous lizards and stuff, they got really bright green and red colorations. It's to tell things to stay away. Yes, the only difference between salamanders and lizards is salamanders actually live in the water, while lizards kind of they go in and out. They're both amphibians. What the heck was that? Something splashed behind me. Hmm. Yeah, they sell a lot of different weird things in pet stores. Some things that they're not even supposed to sell. certain kinds of fish from like tropical fish are not supposed to sell, but they still do. See, well, these are dark green, grayish, black, spotted, etc. The ones I'm talking about are just basically brown. Yeah, that's the species that lives down here. It's basically a brown. It's it's a salamander. It's basically exactly what you're saying, except it's not poisonous. I've handled them a number of times. I don't catch many of them up this down this far off the Mississippi because the water gets all mucky and yucky. They need kind of clear, clean water to live. Warm up my hands a little bit. Ah, it's nice to have a little bit of a fire for once. I'll take the rest of these hot dogs home. If I don't cook them on later up tonight, I'll just probably feed them to my cats. That'd be a treat for them. Got a couple more little sticks around here I can throw on there. Those coals will keep her going for a long time. But I actually didn't use many. You don't need many coals to um, cook hot dogs. Yeah, see, there's a mulberry tree right behind us here. Now the ones behind us, they're still pink. Yeah, when they turn purple is when they're not poisonous when they're a different color. It's just they're very bitter. They're like sour candy. Let's see, creeks in Ohio are full of them. Oh yeah, that definitely does, Northern. Especially when that wind starts kicking up. Honestly, that barge didn't do that much of a wave that time. But you can see my rods, folks. See over here? When I started today, that rock face was out of water. I built that rock face right on the edge below it. So it's gone up about probably about 6-8 inches since we've gotten here today. So that's 6-8 inches in like 2.5-3 hours tops. About 2 hours, yeah, about 2 hours. And this river's rising up fast. Reels are going underwater again. Yeah, she's raised let's see, about that much. And these guys are just not really actively feeding today. I think they've had it with this cooler weather. They want some warm temps. I know I've had it with it. I want summer to come. I've been wishing for hot weather for a long time, and all I get is cold weather. This river is always better when it's hot. And look at that. Ah, that bait's still on there. Hasn't been touched. Yesterday, you couldn't have put a worm out here for 5 seconds without it getting hit. Today, totally different. I should probably have moved that back into that cove, but I don't know. This was a better spot to set up a little barbecue because they got the a little cook up because this has got the rocks, all the chunk rocks I could choose. Oh, there's a peck. I saw that. Let's hit some in the head out there. I saw him pecking on it. Yeah, we've tried everywhere, folks, today. We've tried shallow, we've tried deep, we've tried mid-range, we've tried right by the bank, we've tried, yeah, they are just not, no, there's nowhere around where they're getting any type of fish activity right now. Been a while since I've seen it this slow. I fished in the dead of winter and the chunks of ice floating down the river and they're hitting better than this. Of course, the water was super low in the wintertime, which is another thing I'm always wanting, and haven't seemed to be able to get that recently. I want this water down low and haven't been able to get that stuff to come to start. Can't get the water to drop this year. Yeah, she's pretty freaking cool out here right now, folks. It is. I've got a couple more sticks over here. I missed them, didn't I? You don't need a very big fire. You see all these guys out here with like gigantic bonfires the size of a truck. You don't need a very big fire. Let's see, gotta go. All right, see you, Bluegrass. Thanks for dropping by, my friend. Let's see, Northern says that's crazy. That is fluctuates so much. Much the river, yeah. And odd thing is, as fast as going up, it went back down earlier, like less than 2 weeks ago. So we were like up into the trees, a good 10 feet up from here. It dropped 8 or 10 feet, and now she's going right back up again. Yeah, it definitely is like the fish have shut off. I mean, it definitely seems like that. So I'm not gonna waste you guys' time all day. I'm just gonna try to keep her consistent with everything I've been doing recently on YouTube. Try to keep those times. I do think that YouTube does appreciate and push YouTube live feeds to try to stay consistent with their timelines. Like start between a certain hour and end between a certain hour. Like make your streams like if you want to do 2-hour live feeds, do 2-hour live feeds. If you want to do 8-hour live feeds, do 8-hour live feeds. If you want to do a half-hour live feed, do that half-hour live feed. YouTube will get used to you doing those times, and when you do that amount of time, they'll make sure to push you, that time. Let's see, Ewok says later bluegrass. Let's see, Gator with the googly eyes. Let's see, Northern says Gator, hello, brother. Thanks for dropping back by, my friend. 18 people in and 71 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Not a lot going on today. I had a pretty good meal out here. Enjoyed the outdoors. Caught one pretty big buffalo, so it wasn't a total loss. Tell you, we got 15 minutes till we reach 3 hours. So I think we'll hold her in for about another 15 minutes. That way we can be pretty as consistent as we can with YouTube. Like I try to make my between 2 and 4 hours long. I try never to do any like really short live feeds. Like 15 minutes, 25 minutes, an hour, something like that. I try not to do that. I've had a few live feeds where I've just gotten rained out or frozen or something like that, and like I said, you try to be as consistent as you can with YouTube. Sometimes you can't do it. See, Northern says, Gator, I sub, buddy. See, Gator says, Ewas, what's up, family? Gator says, thank you. See, Northern says, no problem, buddy. See, 14 people in, 72 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, they're just, look at this, guys. It's just quiet as a mouse down here right now. I was seeing a few coming up to the surface when I got here, but even they have stopped. Yeah, that was a gar come up to the top. Wasn't very big either. That was like a gar about that big. I was gonna catch some cut bait and cut up a drum or something and fish for a little while, but that's just I can't catch it. I had one small freshwater drum up to the bank, and that was it. And that was on the first cast. After that, nothing. At least we got a nice warm fire. I mean, keeping our hands warm is always a good thing when you're out here. It is actually not that warm out here, folks. It's pretty cool. You guys can't really hear or see the wind too much, but she's whipping. Remember how high we are up on this bank? The water's getting up, right? So down there by the rods, not so much wind. Up here, yeah, there's a decent amount of wind. When you get like way down there low, like on a day like this, I wouldn't be able to tell there was a breeze if it was if the water was low, but it's not. At least we didn't get skunked, right, folks? I gotta keep MBP's tradition of not getting skunked. Yeah, we caught one, solid buffalo. That was a good one. If this is like this again tomorrow, I might just go to fairgrounds or a Fallon Park and do some like crappie, bass, and bluegill fishing because I can always count on those bluegill and crappie to be hitting. Especially since we've had these like so many cool days, so much cool like dark cloudy old weather. It's hard to believe, folks, that it's getting near July. We've had like 190-degree day all year. The rest have been like 70s and maybe 80 a couple days. I believe I remember like 2 or 3 80-degree days, 190, and then yeah, it's been. Ugh. I woke up this morning and I stuck my head out from the cover like, holy crap. What? Reached out there, grabbed my space heater, turned it on, and went back underneath the covers for about a half hour. I was like, that's cold. Yeah, if you're watching anything, Bob, yeah, this weather's coming to you. You said you like cold weather. Enjoy it. I ain't. They going cold weather in the middle of it ain't going almost. There's a bite on that one that was snagged. I saw him bouncing it. He was trying to pull it off. I mean, it's not like we're not getting any bites. Like when my baits come in, usually at least there's a piece or two of worm gone, but the majority of the bait's still there. And I've been seeing a few like pops on the baits, but they're like so inconsistent. I don't know. You know what, folks? I'm getting my big jacket back on, man. That wind really picked up down here too. I brought this down here with me, but when I got down here after working my butt off to get down here, the humidity was so high. Now the humidity's dropped, and it's freaking cool out here. Wind's blowing. Sheesh, dude. What, you living in Antarctica or something? Crap. Yeah, let's see. 72 likes, let's go. Yeah, well, it's kind of the thing with my YouTube channel. If I'm not catching anything, I'll go 3 hours. If I'm catching stuff, then I'll push her to 4 hours. You know what I mean? So it's my way of kind of doing the telling everyone too at home that yeah, this has only been a 3-hour feed. Might not have caught much. And I don't think it's going to do much good. I mean, I've got that distinctive feeling that something's up. Let's see. Evo says, hey, Gator. Let's see. Evo says, sorry, still working. Can't always see. Let's see. Fraz says, hi. And let's see. Northern says, I'm telling you, something is up with the fish, buddy. I would agree with you. It's like they're shut off right now. I'm not sure why they're not hitting, but and there's the sun trying to pop out now. That's interesting. The sun just tried to pop out on us. Now look at this, guys. I had something try to pick up that one that was snagged, bounced it once or twice, and then it quit. Yesterday, I was snagged on a rock out here for fish kept pecking on it for 20 minutes before he finally got it off. Yeah, it's very possible that she's just bouncing up and down erratically. Because you know how St. Louis is like a desert location? What'll happen is we'll have a storm come in and it'll hit outside of St. Louis and we'll get that pressure to go up. And then when the storm goes by, it'll go right back down. Well, we're not getting any of the rain from that stuff. So it seems like the weather's pretty stable, right? It's going up and down because it's bouncing like a change in the barometric pressure can do it just as much as if she's going up or if she's going down. It can shock them. I don't know. But I do know that I wasn't skunked. Had a good meal out here today, folks. Got to enjoy you guys' company. Still an enjoyable day down on the river. I don't always have to catch 100 fish, 20 fish, 10 fish. As long as I get down here and chat with you guys, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy. Catching fish, no, that's an extra. That's a bonus. I did catch one. Well, I didn't catch one. Don't tell me I didn't catch one because I caught one. Pretty good one, too. Yeah, I'll probably give these to my cats when I get home. Sandy hot dogs. Sandy dogs. Some dogs. Whatever. Is that a thing? Sand dogs? Let's see, Northern says, today was an awesome day. And I definitely caught one. I appreciate it, buddy. And awesome holding on to that #1 crown for most of the feed. Okay. We got 2 minutes, so just a couple more minutes to go. I think I'll go back home, grab a Mountain Dew at the gas station because this squirt is like, yeah. Yeah, they don't even sell Mountain Dew or Coca-Cola at the Safeway I go to. They sell off-brand sodas or nothing. Oh yeah, they did have Mountain Dews, but in 2 liters. I can't carry no daggone 2 liter when I'm down here. I gotta fit everything into my backpacks. Whatever. See, is that Les? How you doing, Les? Thanks for coming in, my friend. Les says MVP. How you doing, my friend? We're gonna shut her down. We haven't been catching much today. Not much of anything. In fact, we did get one nice buffalo, about 7, 8 pounds, something like that, or something. And we had one freshwater drum up to the bank. Made some hot dogs. I had cooked had a little campfire here. Yeah, it's a good day. Could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse. I've had better, but any day on the river is a good one. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I think we're going to shut her down. Yeah. It's wasting you guys' time. Hopefully you can find something else on YouTube that's more entertaining. Maybe someone can catch some fish. Well, more than one at least. At least make sure whoever you go to catches at least one more fish. Just if they catch 2, then you're fine. All right. All right. I'm gonna shut her down. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it, and thank you guys for staying in through the non-catching. Yep. All right. I'm just gonna have my old good luck. Stay safe. Hope to see you on the water, my friends. Keep doing what you love. Keep them lines tight. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. And again, appreciate it. Bye.